Hello, my party humans. Today we're going to do a quick briefing on how to make these little posable figures out of wire. Now, this isn't easy and it will take a long time, and no, I'm not going to do a whole one start to finish. But what I am going to show you is some simple tips and tricks. So, this is your little fella. Your little fella is fully posable because wire is bendy. Yay! Anyway, so I'm going to move this guy out of the way just so it's not distracting. Basically, you need a set of pliers. Now, we have different types of pliers. I like the needle nose, but, you can use what's best for you. So, you're going to take a length of wire. This piece I've made about 14 inches long, but it's not anywhere from 10 to 15 inches would be just fine, and I don't expect you to measure. So, we're going to start with the head. The head, right there. We're going to take a little loop, okay? Take a little loop, make it like that. Now I want more for the shoulder coming around, so I'm going to bend this over a little bit more. I know I make it look easier than it is, and you guys will get the hang of this. Okay, so when I take that, I'm going to make the neck. And I twist it like that, okay? So now I've made a head and a neck, and these will become the shoulders. Shoulders, this is one way to do it, and if you have a different way, feel free to explore it. But fold one shoulder over, and I'll show you why in just a second, because when you take this part and you fold over the other shoulder, you make a figure 8, and remember your body proportions with that reference sheet I'm going to give you, if I have not already given it to you. Say, hey Mr. Bushy, where's that reference sheet? See how I've made a figure 8? It's not perfect, we're going to adjust it, but this figure 8 is pretty well proportioned because the head, the torso, and the abdomen are generally about the same shape. I mean, about the same size. There is space in between for the neck and for your guts, but for the most part, that's what we're looking at. So, look, I made another one already, and I've pinched that down just to tighten it. Now I'm going to show you how to build mass on the body. Okay? So building mass means that our bodies are not flat. We are not two-dimensional creatures. If we look at us like this, that is not what we look like. We have bones, and those bones form, especially in our chest, the bones form a cage that holds all our lungs and heart and all that good stuff. So we're going to make that. And how I'm going to do that, I'm going to just wrap around, wrap around, wrap around. And I can adjust these later. Now, you may want to use a wire, you may want to use the tools, or you may want to do it by your finger, but at the end, you're almost certainly going to need the tools, because you're going to have to bend this over. So I bend this over like this, and as long as it's not sticking out, I don't have to have like a perfect hook in, like on this one. This is a nice clean hook. I don't know if you can see that. This is a nice clean hook. This is just in. As long as it's not sticking out and going to catch on something, it's fine. It's inside the body. Okay? I am not asking for perfection. I am asking for three-dimensionality. So see, now that's three-dimensional. It's contoured. It's not perfect, but it sort of resembles rib cages. So if you go back to this guy, I did that already. I did it a little bit tighter. But as you can see, one thing I did that I should point out is that I made the spine along the back of him. If you end up putting the spine down the center, I'm not going to judge you too harshly. So the last thing you're going to want to do is add limbs after you've done all that. You're going to add contours to the chest, the thorax, the abdomen, the head, and you're going to add limbs. You're going to take one more piece. Well, two, because one for the arms and one for the legs. You just slide it through. Now, this piece just is going to hang, and it's not going to lock into anything yet. If I slide it through this hook I've made, however, it's going to lock in a lot better. Now, it locks in on one side. The other side, however, it does not lock in. So I have to actually make it lock in. Now, this is tricky. I'm going to fold it around, and I'm going to come around, go through anywhere that works for me to put that in there. Now, err on the side of caution as far as the size of your limbs. Make your limbs longer than you need to be, because you can always cut them down, but adding more wire will be a royal pain. So I'm pinching it down to make it nice and tight. using the pliers to that. Now I have way too long arms, but I expected that kinda. I expected my arms to be way too long. Have I not showed you how to cut yet? Let me show you how to cut. If you look, some pliers we have a cutting edge right in the center. Some we have just diagonal cutters or end cutters. Those are specifically for cutting. These are multi-purpose. So you're going to take this and you're going to go down into that area right there. You're going to pinch it, squeeze it nice tight, give it a little bend, and it'll snap off. Okay? Once you've made the three-dimensional torso, you're just going to slide this through, wind it around. You're going to do the same thing on the abdomen too. When you've built out this abdomen here, you're going to slide legs through that too. After you've done all that, you'll have your fully formed three-dimensional body. And yes, the arms and legs are extremely thin, but that's okay. You'll notice if you decide that some of this is wonky, you can change the thickness of certain things with your pliers or with your hands, depending on how much you run the risk of hurting your hands, because it does hurt a little while. After a little while, it hurts doing this, but you'll get used to it after a while. I promise. I hope. So, you guys are going to give it a try. You're not on your own. I'm going to help you. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your class.